Boom.
Bingo. We're going to try this again. This is
By golly, let's confirm we're on Facebook before we really give the spill.
part
Guys, I,
two.
I told so many secrets, it's unbelievable, and you guys miss it if you're on
We
Facebook.
missed it. I don't see it yet on Facebook.
Let's just see.
Let's make sure we're on YouTube as well. I don't see any comments
Uh,
yet.
all right. Hmm.
This is part two, guys. So if you're just joining in, make sure you chime in here. We're going to need some help here tonight. Looks
It's
like
been a while since we screwed all this up, so we were due. We were due.
well, everything don't always work as planned. We see three people. Okay, there's John Stokes on. Don't see it on Facebook, so we're gonna have to roll with the show possibly only on YouTube tonight. Make sure you chime back in here, guys. Let us know that you're in there. I see the YouTube guys coming on in here. So now there's Brandon Thomas, Tim Smith. So we must be live now on Facebook, hopefully.
Oh boy, we got to be surely.
There's
Sure.
Dustin. Dustin Shields chiming
Hey, I've
in.
been here the whole time. Oh, Dustin Shields, he's the Facebook guy too. So listen, guys,
There you
we're
go.
10 minutes too late on Facebook. I'm sorry, but we spilled the beans. Unbelievable. We
We
did
told all the secrets of the
we
world
did
right before.
three giveaways. It's
Three
unbelievable.
hoodies. I mean, it was
Yeah, three
crazy.
hoodies with Dustin. Yeah.
Anyway, this is part two of today's bite. We did a little bit on YouTube, didn't realize the Facebook world wasn't with us, so we started it back up. So this is part or take two, maybe
Yeah, take two. Yeah.
take two. But
Action.
we'll go ahead and kind of fill in where we started off. But we hadn't started actually. Dustin, how's your week been since last
You know
Tuesday night?
what? I'm trying to find a word for it, but I'm trying to be delightful for live Facebook. But I tell you what, these crappie are really driving a man nuts. They really are. But it could always be worse. Like I said last Tuesday, it could always
Mm-hmm.
be worse.
Always
So
be.
yeah, the bite is definitely tough. We've got a huge rain that came in north of us and on top of us. Gosh, I think we got 2 inches in one night. I believe. I mean, it was
Oof.
a yeah big rain, and we're up 4 foot or 5 foot, but they're pulling the lake incredible, dropping the lake super fast. I think they're dropping 50,000, 10,000's coming in, so it's real crazy current. And the water cooled off a lot. I'd say cooled off 3 to 5 degrees. So we're low
Mm-hmm.
60s, back to low 60s, mid 60s. And the fish just seemed like they disappeared, sucked to the bottom. You can find some on structure here and there in certain areas. Like me and Brad were talking before this live, they definitely find places out of the current, and they also
Yep.
like a little clarity of water. Like if you can find some water that's not just mud, it's definitely on. I found a little spot this evening, but it's a 100-yard stretch. So that ain't gonna feed the family, but I did catch some giant fish and aggressive fish. But like I said, I think there's very few places you can go really catch them at Grand right now. No,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anybody really the last week. When I say catching a lot of them and a lot of fish, not a lot of numbers. I haven't heard any good reports hardly at all. Me and another guide buddy that guide on the lake hard, uh, kind of switching to catfish, spoonbill, whatever, to give the crappie a break a little bit. Try to let them cool off and come back. After this flood chills out, they stop just dumping the lake like crazy. I think there's a lot that goes on at Grand that normally don't in other lakes because we have, towns flood and it's all the GRDA has a big deal with Grand on fluctuating the water. So
Yeah.
it screws the fish up a little more dramatic than if you just had a flood of a lake and, it was slowly letting water out or whatever. This is a whole different ball game. So
And I think that if you could find the little magic elements that's probably
absolutely.
out
Yeah.
there, it
Hmm.
would probably change your whole world. And we talked a little bit before the today's bite live stream started, and I I recall some heavy springtime rains and how it affects the res here for me. And you know, if you look at the lake as a whole, and I'm talking, let's say, this plate here, and you've got current coming through that lake, and they're sucking it in fast as it comes in.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that I noticed that if you got a lot of current, I always try to, or I always seem to find the best fishing on the very edges of that lake.
Hmm.
So we're going to look at this, especially after the show, see if we can get
Oh, yeah.
Dust Dash
It,
some good
it
areas to
definitely
go at least try.
It definitely makes sense, but this is my only worry, Brad. It reminds me somewhat of Washington when it's just like even when the lake level was good and it should have been lights out fishing, it just wasn't. So this just makes it 10 times harder of when it's just like, where are the fish at? It
Yeah.
makes you just thinking, what in the world? Even when it was supposed to be good, they weren't there. I mean, yeah, we've caught good fish and caught nice tables of fish, but
Yeah.
not near when you're out there every day and you know what it normally looks like compared to now. It's just not making sense. Nothing is. But when you find numbers of fish, they're all little fish, so that does look good for next year. I can't tell
Hmm.
you how many 9-inch fish I've seen, but uh, yeah, it could always be worse, though, right, Brad?
Absolutely. You
Yes,
know, we want to hear some fishing reports from you guys as well, and I'm gonna tell you my fishing report as well. And you know, I made a post yesterday afternoon about what would be your three, or if you had one wish for the rest of the month of April, what would it be? And you would say, I'm gonna say 95% of every comment was
light
light
wind.
winds.
Yeah, I figured.
Everybody's feeling the winds as far as comes this spring. I had high hopes this morning. I got out there, and all of a sudden, I just a little light wind coming out of the south, and I was like, "I can deal with this. I can deal with this."
And
But
man, you've done.
automatically, I knew I was like, "You better hit the juice while you can, son." So
Mhm.
I went to the juice, and what I mean by that, I went to the probably the best piece of structure that I thought held fish, and sure enough, it had them on there. It had some donkeys in there, and you know, it was a moss back. It's a moss back that I've
Wow,
had out for a while. It was a moss back absolutely loaded with pound and a half to 2 pound fish. And I think we caught 15 in less than an hour of just hammers. And then the wind blew up
good
and
stuff. Oh yeah,
we had to roll out of there, of course. But, you know, my thing is I had to hit it quick. I had to move on, then had to fish some different areas. But I seen something interesting at the end of my today's bite was that I started looking in some of my summer areas for some post spawn fish to see if I went out there. Not only I found some post spawn fish, but I also found some more pre spawn fish out there. And then I found some fish uh, still spawning on some of this summertime stuff. So for me, I really that tells me that I can start looking for a mixture of transitioning even into a early summertime pattern on where I caught
yeah.
some fish today.
I say that can be a tough bite too because you've got all the fish are doing something different instead of
All
everyone
of them.
doing the same
All
thing.
the
You got
attitudes are different.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna make it through this, Brad. Come June, them fish are in real trouble. Maybe mid-May.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna go through some of these other guys today's bite fish reports on there. I know a lot of them coming up here right now. Um, Bryce saying, my question is, will there be better concentration of fish where the water is flowing into the lake? What do you see about that question, and what do you break into
Is
that?
there a bigger say it one more time?
Better concentrations of fish where the water is flowing into the lake.
It's a good question. I don't notice that. Not really. Uh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna say
I've always
your
looked, but
concentration
yeah,
is
my
gonna be in
concentration.
that slack water.
Yeah, the concentration is going to be. I see what he's saying though. I think he's meaning like
Hmm.
where the fresh water's coming in, slack water
Hmm.
around there. Is it thicker? But I don't think I noticed that. It's definitely they definitely want to find the eddies, slack water, the calm water. And when they're pulling really hard, you're going to even have all those feeder creeks, picture current coming through those too when they're pulling. So there's several areas if you think about it that have current. You would think, oh, I'm going to get in this arm over here and get out of the current, but technically you're not because it's got a creek arm too. So there's a lot of little spots and nooks and crannies to look when this happens. But I will say, when you find them, you find them. It seems like they all kind of do the same thing, and you can really find the X when the current's going. That's why Brad loves that current so much. But
Loves it.
man, if you don't find the X, it makes you want to just wreck your boat in a bridge pillar. Don't ask me how I know. Don't ask me.
We would never figure it out, I promise you.
uh,
And,
oh
you
man,
know, that's the hard thing is finding those little X, but you know, it's out there,
patience
and
is the key.
that's that it is out there, and I've been in the same situation. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, we got 12 or 13 inches of rain that moved through the lake, and that's a lot of water coming in. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they're open all the gates up and letting it flood,
Hmm.
and it was right during the middle of the spawn, about sometime in April now. and all the fish that I had been catching were gone. I mean,
Oh yeah.
like ghost towns. You're like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, trust me, I know all about
I didn't
it.
get the memo. Where'd you guys go?
Yeah, yeah.
And literally, I went as far of the edge of the lake as I could, and the fish were there. I think that's where you'll find them, Dustin. I cannot
Uh,
wait to. I'm gonna look
yeah,
at Grand
that's the
after this.
exciting part. Yeah. I'll show you where I found them on the map too to this evening and kind of put the puzzle together. I want you to see
Yeah.
what you would think and why they were there. But yeah, there was
Mhm.
some donkey fish there, and they were really aggressive. See, I thought it was going to zap them, but they still didn't care. The water was still warm enough. They're doing their thing. One of them was post spawnedish a little bit, but yeah, they were in there
Mhm.
and aggressive, but just not a lot of them. I think you catch maybe 15, 20 in that area, but
Stephen, he said his laptop broke, been out for 3 weeks, but he's back on tonight on
oh,
your phone. Well,
welcome,
Stephen, make
Stephen.
sure you hit that like button right now. We got 158 people watching and
We need you.
75 likes. So we need some more of that. Let's see if it works, Dustin.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I don't see it happening tonight. I don't know what the
Yeah.
deal is. Um, Mr. Charles Henderson, he said, found fish today on the res, but the wind would not let me stay on them. 12 foot of water. Mr. Charles, if you give me the waypoints tomorrow, I'll go check them out for you and
Are you
see if
supposed to
I
have
can
good
stay
win?
on them.
Good win tomorrow?
I don't see any good wind for the rest of the week, really.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be terrible, but it's Thursday or Friday might be a little challenging.
Oh, yeah. Same here. Thursday, I think, is going to be 25 to 40 mile per hour wind. Something crazy.
Yeah,
Gosh. Then we got
Brandon
storms.
Thomas.
Yeah. Well, how's his fishing report day? He was going to do something crazy today. He texted me and told me he was going to go after him.
Well, I don't think he's hadn't got his fish report out yet. He just says
Gotcha.
if you fish a lake with a spillway in good rain that causes a lot of flow over the spillway, the crappie will stack up below it until the water starts to drop. And that's just like I was were saying, those eddies, anything that has that slack
Hmm.
water is definitely going to be the key areas when it comes to current. I like current if I can figure it out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You need to start
That's
clarifying.
yeah, if I can figure it out.
That's right.
Falcon Lake, Mexican border, tough bite this past weekend. Combination of weather, changes in lake level, much like what you're describing at your lakes. Man, you gotta goes. That's today's bite, man. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing it.
that's right. For sure.
Ron says, Dustin, my home lake, Lake Shelbyville, is the same way. If they just leave the water alone, it would be phenomenal. It's up
Oh,
2 foot
yeah.
in a day, and then 2 foot down in the following 2 days.
I'm just glad I got some brothers out there with me that is
Yeah,
on
they
the
feel
same
your
bus.
pain, man.
But now just take that pain, guys, and realize that that's my living. Somehow I got to figure out how to make those fish jump in the boat to get paid. So that makes it even a little more tougher.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Mr. Charles hooks me up with that waypoint, and I'm gonna check those fish out for him tomorrow.
Come on, Charles, be a good man, brother. Be a good. Actually, send me the waypoint, Charles, so I can hold it over him for a little while. Then I'll send it to him.
I like new waypoints.
Yeah.
Uh, had same problem. Ron says I've had the same problem on Lake Norfolk in Arkansas. Plenty of short fish, but bigger ones have been hard to find.
Yep, yep, yep. Gosh, you guys really, you know what? I needed that tonight. I needed to know somebody else is going
Yeah,
through the battle with me. Makes me feel a little better.
absolutely. Guys, we're going to get there. 114 on the thumbs up. It doesn't.
There's not,
Remember, every
yeah,
time
it's
we
not
got to do
working.
this.
It's not working.
It's not
The
working.
there's nothing more frustrating though when you're so excited for spring and you're ready to get them, and then something like that does happen to your guys' lake. I know that's a terrible feeling, and you get these days off, and you're excited to go whoop them, and you've been watching today's bite, and you can't wait to go rip the fish,
Mhm.
and they rip us
They
off.
rip it. They rip it. Do you have a today's bait of the week?
Yes. Today I caught quite a few fish off Cajun cricket. That's my color. Chartreuse head, Cajun cricket. I know off-colored head, but it's what did me good.
I'm gonna see if I had a Cajun cricket handy. Um,
Because Dustin don't, and I'm really failing. Just say it, Brad.
you're fired.
That's what the fish
Uh,
tell me every day.
uh, my today's bait of the week, and been using it last week, some this week, and plan on using it tomorrow as well. We'll see how they like it. But the old green lantern,
Oh yeah, that's a killer. So what's your
man.
water clarity? A little dingy?
I mean, It depends on what part of the lake. I think we're getting some mud
Mixing
developed
in
with
like
the high winds.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
really from current. It's more of a wind generated mud. I fished on the southern part of the lake today. That water seemed pretty clear to me for this time of year. And our water clarity, we're talking 12,
Sweet
15
tea.
inches is clear.
Yeah. So what do
And,
you what them fish are seeing your bait a long ways away then? That's good
the clients fishing with me today, they asked me, like, because if it's just not the correct presentation,
presentation.
these fish ignore it. They just
Yeah,
flat out ignore it.
really.
And I think they see the baits better than we probably give them credit.
Oh yeah, especially in that when you're saying 12, 15-inch water clarity, like at Grand, they'll
Mhm.
see it 2 foot away sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
What,
seeing it
what
definitely at 2 foot.
what's your see mine right now is like 3 to 5 inches is how close you got to get
Mhm.
it to for to
Yeah.
see it. But what's your presentation then? What's the right presentation? Or are you gonna
Well,
spill the beans?
no, yeah, I'd spill the beans. I've been casting since last week. I switched over to
Oh,
casting.
really? Got you.
Wanted to kind of work on this boat slap and try to be a little bit more stealthy, but I've noticed I picked up last week that they will follow a bait and they want it moving. So we started casting last week, and we've done really good at casting with it. But for me, is they want the bait to fall on them, and then they want. I tell the guys it's kind of like it's ricocheting off of them. So I want it
Yeah.
to drop just about to hit them, and it looks like it ricochets up and away. Now, if you just cast and bringing it through that brush or by that stump where they're sitting, they completely ignore it.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
Completely
So you
ignore it.
have the reaction one, get one to kind of, "Whoa,
You've
what's
you've
that?"
got to get some kind of reaction, and it
Mhm,
goes back to even twitching that rod a little bit as you're coming by
mhm,
them, and it takes some practice. And you think about a really precise presentation and how a rod can, um, change up the presentation. Whether you reel it too fast or you reel it too slow
mhm.
or you pop it too fast, it's all about. For me, if that jig is falling at a certain rate, I actually want it to be retrieved up at that same rate. Whatever it's dropping, I want to kind of match it. I don't
Mhm.
want it to all of a sudden drop and barely come up. I want it to fall about the same speed and come back up. And that takes a little bit of time, and it's 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 hard to describe. I don't
No,
know.
I
It's
get what
like I
you're
said. I
saying
want it
for
to
sure.
slight ricochet without it being. I
Yeah.
wanted everything really smooth.
When you close that bail, it's time to reel. You're not really letting it go much.
Well, for me, in most of the fish that I'm really targeting, or like I said, some little bit deeper fish. I'm kind of hitting some of the post spawn and some pre spawn and everything in between. Um, but when we're casting out, and I'm gonna say these fish are 12 to 15 foot, and that's a lot of them that are. I want that bait to drop until it's the last 5 feet. Close the bell, and the
Yeah.
time it hits that
Click your
tightness of
reel.
the
Yeah.
it's all your slacks out of your line at that
I
point.
like it.
I
Yeah.
never want that bait to drop below them. I want it to stop right above their head, and it's almost like a slight pause.
Okay, bouncing off of them.
Doop,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that up like that. That slight pause coming up gets their attention. But if it's just a drop down and go below them, count it out. Or if you drop
Oh,
it
yeah.
down and bring it through them, count it
Mhm.
out.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so they're wanting it just right. I've been there on
They
that.
want it just right.
Yeah.
Crappie are very particulars.
Yes, they are. Are you catching any black
Particulars.
crappie?
We're catching a few black. I hit one. It's fairly shallow pile today, and it was about 8 or 9 foot of water. And
Black crappie.
man, we could not get them to bite at all. And finally,
You
I
know
was
what
like,
they
"Hey,
were.
I did finally catch a few of them, and I had to switch baits, and I had to go to a smaller profile than a slab hunter. I had to go to the itty bit mayflies,
Oh, yeah.
and that bait actually triggered them. You know, and guys, if you think of this bait, and you're thinking, man, this thing is so small, and uh, there's times that, especially you think of like these black crappie, they're so finicky anyway. But that's the
Oh,
there's his that little
this
joker.
guy here, he is a little chunk.
Look at
Say
that
hi,
little
everybody.
joker.
He ain't been live for a little while. Say
Uh-uh.
hi.
Looks like
Hi.
he's free. Hey,
This is Bo the Slab Slayer. Woohoo! Give Brad
gives
that.
us a thumbs up.
Boom. There you guys go. Thumbs
Thumbs up.
up.
There you go.
Good job, Bubba.
Good
Oh,
job, bud.
he's getting
But
big fast.
oh man, just wait. Um, today's my grandson's second birthday, Willie.
Oh my goodness. Willie
Yeah,
is 2 now.
he is
Nice.
2. But for me, I started casting these itty bit mayflies, and that triggered some of those black crappie to go ahead and bite it today. And um, just changed some things around, shot them out there, and we didn't clean that pile out by no means, but we were able to catch some really nice fish off of them that wasn't biting beforehand by changing a profile out. Let's see. There's your Brandon Thomas report tonight.
All
You
right.
see
Let's
it?
see what he says.
Sound like you got cops coming in your door.
Yeah. No, cop going on the highway there.
Brandon Thomas, he says Lake Hudson in the last couple of days, the fish have been tight to structure, 12 to 16 foot of water on stumps and fallen trees. Water temp 66 to 68. No roaming fish to speak of. All the fish are on the structure. Pretty similar to me.
I was gonna say that's about how Grand is, and I don't
Pretty
know
similar.
why. Which Grand pours into the lake he's fishing, so I imagine he's getting flooded pretty good right now as well.
Slab Doc, he said, first trip to Grenada a few weeks ago, spent 2 days chasing, couldn't get the 3 pounders. The bite caught several 260s in the 260 range. Place gets hammered from guides heading back in February. Man, it gets hammered by all kind of
Oh
folks.
yeah, year round.
Tournaments, guides, regular fishermen,
Torch Tyndall says,
everybody.
we need rain, fellas. I was cleaning fish Saturday and pulling ticks off the crappie. It's been so dry." Listen,
Absolutely.
Torch, we don't need no dang more rain. We got plenty of it. And we got more coming Friday and Saturday. So I think we got everybody's rain all at once right here where we're at.
Um,
Poor wife's trying to plant a garden. It's just too dang wet.
Michael Horn, Brad, is that the one that also charges your phone? No, this is just a bracket that's actually on the side. I guess you would call it nut. That's your unit that attaches to your bracket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It just attaches to the side of that nut and drops down. And I put a ram mount. It's like a X
You should have brought
clamp.
that in here and showed us. Show us next
I
week,
should
maybe.
have. I'll take it off the boat next week if you'd like to.
Take a picture, and put it on there. Because I'm kind of curious about the phone holder. That'd be
Yeah,
really nice. Because I've
it's
always got it in
nice.
my pocket and pulling it in and out of my pocket. I always think I'm going to drop it in the lake, which I
Yep.
may or may not have done that once.
Well, I put mine on the front deck, and last week when I was
About kick it off.
actually, well, it got soaked by the net,
Oh
and
yeah, the fish.
so water was all in it. I couldn't hear anything because it
Hmm.
was full of water. So I was like, I seen that this weekend. I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
Um, Ripping Lips, did they drop the level in the res? No, I seen it pretty consistent right now. I don't see too much change in the water level over the last couple of weeks. It's at summer pool as we speak.
Lisa Anders fished Lake of the Ozarks over the weekend. The water temperature was 63. The lake rose 4 to 5 foot
Mm.
around most crappie in the same areas as they were when the lake was lower. 2 weeks ago, I caught a large crappie off a single branch. All the fish are pre-spawn. Went back to the same spot, caught 3 large crappie post-spawn. Do large female crappie tend to stay in the same areas and use the same cover pre-spawn through post spawn, and Cajun cricket was the color of choice. Lisa, I would say yes, they definitely do. They'll stay there because they're going to dump eggs several times in that area. They're going to keep on spawning. And also, it's hilarious because the fishing report even down to the same color. Lake of the Ozarks is also close here, Brad, and uh,
Mhm.
it's really a lot. It's a really similar fishery. Just Lake of the Ozarks is a little healthier, I think, numbers wise right now. And also, it sounds like it may not have muddied the water up real bad. If the fish stayed where they're at, I imagine it may not have gotten super muddy yet. If you were south.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said today, I targeted what I would consider a post spawn area, but there were pre spawn fish in it, spawning fish in it, and some post spawn fish mixed
Oh
in there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like same area.
I think them fish will stay there until a summer pattern, like when it starts getting
Mhm.
hot and they're completely done. I'd say late May. You can catch them on those shallow stumps until late May, June over here. I would imagine. Warren Brumley says, if I found fish on humps, rocks on rock flats, 6 to 12 foot, working the bottom, like maybe they're spawning, would you
Hmm.
cast and bounce on the bottom, or just slip cork them just above them? That's a really good question. I think I'd try both and see which one they
I'd
liked more.
cast.
But you
I
you
would
would
cast.
cast, depending on water clarity, I guess. If the fish were aggressive enough, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't mind trying to long rod them either and hold it right above them, see what they would do. But
You
I'd
know,
I'd be
uh,
trying all kinds of ways.
if they're aggressive, I like casting. If they feel like they want to bait really moving, I like to
Oh yeah,
cast for them.
mm, for
You know,
sure.
something to feel about that tug when you got a 7.5,
Mhm.
6, whatever size pole
I
you're
agree.
using.
And Warren, you might try the slip bobber with a jig too if they want it a little slower, but you want to stay back off of them. Try the slip bobber with no bobber stop. That can kill them too.
Greg A says, Southern Illinois males on the bank less than 2 foot of water, big females 2 to 12 foot on structure, leaking eggs on the boat. I hate the
Oh
wind.
yeah.
Anything
Welcome.
less than 15 would be nice. Greg, we're going to go ahead and shoot. We want to wish for less than 5. We're going to all wish
Yeah,
tonight for less than
exactly.
5 for
Two
everybody.
mile per hour sounds like a good number to me.
Ooh. Oh,
Oh, I
man,
wouldn't know
that
what
does.
to do. Then fish would probably hear the brakes and not even know what to do. No boat slap or nothing.
Yep.
My goodness.
Mr. Matt England, what's Matt's slogan? What does he say every show?
Uh, hey everybody, or hello everybody. How we doing? How we doing? Matt
Yeah,
England, do you
why
have a
don't
message?
Matt? We need that same comment on the comments.
Yeah,
That
we
way we
do.
got to
We do. That is true.
come
Tell me,
on,
did I
Matt.
did I do it right, Matt? Did I nail it,
We
or
got to
or
see
was
if
it,
you. We
was
got
I
to
off a
see
little
the
bit?
actual correct introduction, Matt
Something
England.
about introduce this sport to a young adult. So, doggone it, Matt. I've watched enough of them to remember this, but you should be proud of me.
Yeah, you give a good solid C. You're
I
a
was giving
great
it a
C
try.
student.
That's right. Corey Bechtold, he said, water temps jumped in Minnesota today, almost 57 degrees. The crappie are snapping.
Hmm.
Jumped to 57. Man, if it was 57 here, I'd be worrying.
Yeah, our water temps ranging from 68 to around 70. Um,
Scott Bradshaw said he's looking forward to his first 3 pound crappie next week.
hmm.
Scott Bradshaw, where are you fishing, buddy? You fishing with Brad? Is that where you're going to get it?
Maybe so. I think I hooked one today.
Did you really? Oh, man.
Pretty sure. Uh, John, I have not tried my deer sausage on the way home Sunday, but I definitely appreciate you and your son coming to the show and hanging out and watching Hunter play the other night. And I know we all had a good time up there at Moore's Resort. Uh, let's see here. We've got an Eric Berger report. Let's see. Let's see. Evening, guys. Fish report: Central Illinois water temps dropped from 60 to 53. Crappie bite has been outstanding. Males are on the shore and females 8 to 10 foot of water. Hot bait has been the 1 inch slider in all black. Hey, keep going with it. That small profile
Sure.
baits, man, we're all using them a lot more.
Have you seen, did you see Ryan Parsley's took a fellow veteran out Friday? Did you read
I
that one
have
by
not
chance?
read it
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
Ryan says he took a fellow veteran out Friday for an event and whacked a 3 man limit on Lake Shelbyville, fishing spawning shallow fish on cubes, 10 to 12 foot deep, casting jigs and minnows under slip corks. It was a great day. Ryan, that does sound like a dang good day. So Shelbyville's not too terrible
Yeah.
bad. And by the cubes, guys, he's talking about, our department does the same thing. They build these cubes out of gosh, I don't even know, like PVC.
PVC.
Yeah, PVC squares, and then they have this black tubing through it, and they build those, and the fish really do love them. They're good attractants, but I see a lot of people in Shelbyville fishing those.
Zachary said fish Arkansas River of the weekend, Fort Smith area, water temp 71, river level rose significantly due to the rains. It was slow biting until the sun come out. Once the sun come out, I put on the live roamer, double silver rainbow, and
There
tore
we
them
go.
up. 6 to 8 foot of water structure, single pole jigging. Love those
Love 'em.
reports, guys.
Smoking them. Scott Bradshaw said, "Yep." Maybe he fishing with you next week, or do you
I
even
would have
know?
to look back at. I don't even know offhand.
Oh, Scott, Scott, if Brad don't take care of you, you know where to come, buddy.
Yep.
Me and him fish together. You talk about a dang good time. You if he's coming with you, you just wait, buddy. He's 5 star.
Oh, I'm ready. Sean Hillman was listening to podcast earlier how to get noon live scope. You were talking about the different types of fish fooling you. I was waiting to see if someone said gar, and you said we'll let you throw around them
Uh,
before they turn.
None of that really
Gets me a
made sense.
lot. Um, I'm gonna try to decipher. Sean's from Lake County and Mississippi, so I kind of understand his lingo. Uh, yeah, gar kind of will fool you, especially if they're sitting a particular way in that water column. And as you get closer, you'll kind of see them get
Turn.
longer.
Yeah, yeah,
And a gar afloat and or suspend rather, and just sit there a lot of times like a crappie will. I don't think necessarily they scare the crappie away. I've seen too many times that I've watched fish generally be just right up underneath a gar, swim along beside them or on a piece of standing timber, and they're just sitting there right uh, under that gar.
yeah.
But gars do fool me at a distance
Oh,
pretty
they will
easily.
sometimes. So if you picture Gar's perfectly round, so when you're looking
Hmm.
straight at him, you see this perfect circle. Oh my goodness. What in tarnation?
What?
What in tarnation?
We got a
We
new
got some
trick.
funny business going on here. But no, it's that perfect circle. So that you'll be sneaking up there like, oh, I got a giant, and then that girl will turn sideways and be nuts. Brad's trying all kinds of things here. I mean, this camera has a mind of its own. Sorry for that, guys. It's not even Valentine's Day. We're doing all this nasty. So
Oh yeah. Bayou State Outdoors, he said, question, what's the fastest you ever trolled a stroller and caught crappie? 1.5, 1.6, burning them. Maybe even higher than that at Grenada Lake years ago in the summertime. And I'm thinking even 1.8 up there. We tossed out 2 1/8s and we at least a mile and a half, at least 1.5, and they would just about rip the poles out of the pole holders on Grenada Lake in the summertime. I remember it pretty
that
easily.
would be a rush for sure.
Mhm.
Brandon Thomas said, "I know the crappie will swim onto a spoonbill back." Yeah, I have seen that, Brandon. We have a lot of spoonbill in Grand as well, and I've seen crappie following spoonbill around like crazy. I don't know if it's a sense of safety or what, to have like a big friend when you're going somewhere. But I have chased crappie under spoonbill and on top of them a lot.
Mr. Charles Henderson will not give me any waypoints, guys. So we're going to do a thumbs up down for Mr. Charles at
Yeah,
this
he
point.
he said you have to give him some. It's an eye for an eye type
I
deal.
give him some every week. I don't know what he's talking about.
That's right.
Outdoor life. Uh, I got a text message about that, but it says the big ones are always on the bank a day or two ago. Whenever I'm not, 100 plus fish the past 3 weekends, maybe 8 keepers. Brush 5 to 15 bull shoals.
Oh yeah,
Y-
big black crappie,
Big
big
black
black.
crappie,
Yeah, a clear lake, Clearwater Lake.
Clearwater Lake, big
Mm.
black crappie. Mainly, you know, uh, those can be the finickiest fish of all.
Oh yeah,
Definitely, when you
especially for
think of big
spawning.
black crappie.
Gosh, yes, yes. I'd be waiting, try to wait for that summer pattern. You haven't missed the good fishing yet, buddy. Just hang in there. Welcome to crappie fishing, though. It feels like they're always doing good when we're not there.
Yeah, and that's the thing is just keeping your head down and fish.
Oh yeah.
Um, Last Thursday or Friday, and one of the reasons I switched over, we were real windy, hard to get that pole to sit level enough and still enough for these fish. And I think I had 3 fish by like 9:30. And being a guide, and when you have those kind of days, you're starting to say,
Second
"Hey, you
guess.
got to get it
Yeah.
together. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get it together here." And that's one reason I switched over to casting because I'm like, this presentation is killing us.
Mm-hmm.
So I started casting to them, and we winded up. I don't know how many fish in the boat, but had a really good day by switching tactics. I'm gonna say 2 hours into the mix.
Now, when you say you're casting to groups of fish on structure, or you're throwing to
Yes.
singles too?
No, the The problem with singles, especially, and I'm using a 16th and a 32nd as the size
Yeah,
jig heads, or a
yeah. Don't
124th and a
want that.
16th. It takes so long
Mhm.
when it's going down to
Yeah.
get to a suspended fish. And you know as well as me, even if they
And you
move
miss,
six
and you gotta
inches,
reel in, cast, reel in, cast. Oh,
so
I
I'm
already know.
wanting them on
That's
structure.
why I was
I'm
about to
really
be really
targeting structure.
impressed, really impressed if you said you were casting them
Yeah.
singles.
No, no, I'm really starting to stay on there. Uh, Keith says, Wendy Still in North Louisiana, hair jig or plastics? You on the Bobby Garland show, Keith?
Yeah. Look, both of
We're
us.
all about the plastic jigs.
Yeah.
And there's a couple reasons why I like plastic jigs. One is just like I said, I can change profiles in a drop of a hat, change colors, drop of a hat, and instead of having to cut it and retie it and put on another jig or another size. So I really like plastics. It has, I mean, if you want a straight tail jig, there it is. Or if you want a smaller profile with a little bitty tail, there's the slab hunter. You know, if you want to go to
That's
a
what
bigger
you need
jig,
right now.
it gives you an option to really change up things in a drop of a hat, change colors and profiles, drop of a hat.
Agreed.
Uh, Cousin Reggie says, he said, hadn't been a couple weeks, but last week caught a limit in 14 foot of water. They were stacked on stumps. They were on the edge of drop offs and they were spawning flats. Looked like fish pulled off flats and staged close to stumps of drop off. Stumps further out had very few on a monkey milk was the best color for me. Always a great color. You know, the scenario that Reggie's talking about right there for me, anyway, is that's played true all year. You know, I've really concentrated on that last pieces of structure next to deep water stump, deep water, and you know, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you those fish that's pulling up to spawn, the ones that want to spawn on that deeper structure, or those ones coming back off the shallow flats. But it's kind of the best of both worlds in my mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. Greg Robinson said our fish were moving up, and we caught fish Thursday pre-fishing for championship. By Saturday, they moved back out, and I'm wondering if ours are going to spawn. Greg, by the way, congratulations! I believe Greg and his gosh, I want to say cousin, but I'm not positive of that. They won the championship in Oklahoma or Arkansas on Beaver Lake this last weekend, so they did really
Nice.
well. Yeah, they smoked some really nice fish. So, great. How is the fishing there? Are you doing good? I just told Brad I'm really thinking about visiting that lake.
Hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys haven't got near as much rain as we have. Still fishing pretty good.
Dean, he says, got another W this weekend on the St. John's Fisher grouping up on structure on the river, 10 to 14 foot of water. Oh, yeah, 1269 big fish, a 210. Congrats, man. We're proud of you. We're glad that you're doing good. And we'd like to see those W's by some of our today's bite crappie
Oh yeah,
connection.
for sure, for sure. Parker, yes, Parker and Greg, they won that tournament. Congratulations, Parker, by the way, if you're watching this too. You guys nailed them.
Hmm.
We didn't really get the fishing report though, Greg, of how you won.
Hmm.
Spill the beans, buddy. Spill the beans.
We need some more of those emblems.
Yeah,
How'd you
I
do that
know.
while you're there?
Wah, wah,
Hmm.
wah.
I mean,
But yeah, congratulations, really. That's a big accomplishment, and I know that felt dang good getting the victory on the home lake like that. Gosh, it had to feel good. You guys came and beat me on my home lake, so I can't really tell you how good that felt. Thanks a lot.
get on down here. I'm trying to catch up with guys.
Let's see. Have you seen Sean got his new personal best this week? 2 pound, 5 ounce at night. My three biggest fish have all been at night so far. Sean, I've caught some giants at night too.
You know, I don't get to fish as much as at nighttime as I would like to. I think it's a great way to fish, especially if you got a you know
It's minute. It
a
just
8 to 5
it beats
job
yeah.
and get out there at nighttime as well. Curly, he said he went to the cornfield demo days, had a great time, able to see and feel the products, and also was able to see the equipment mounted on the pros boat and meet them. It was well worth going. Curly, it was great hanging out with you and seeing you as well, and uh, you know that's what it was about. Exactly how he described it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Greg said the rain's coming this weekend. Well, great. Sounds great. Maybe they move back out because them things, no, them fish are on next level. I'm telling you. They'll really make you respect them this time of year.
Absolutely.
They really will.
Mike said, he said, I watched Crappie Connection vid you guys did 3 years ago, and at the time, wind was a big issue. I think wind's going to always be a big issue
Oh,
when it
yeah.
comes,
We're
you
at
know,
the wind's mercy. Mother
spring.
Nature. Mother Nature's mercy.
It's
She's
always
undefeated. She's undefeated.
absolutely.
We got some
See,
really bad storms coming this weekend.
yeah, it looks like it could be a little nasty. Steve
Are you gonna
Holland
have
said,
some nasty weather?
yeah, it looks like some got some rain chances picking on up for the weekend and next week.
Gotcha.
Steve, he said, limit out yesterday, purple monkey, bluegrass, itty bit
Wow.
jigging 3 foot deep. Steve, where were you at, man? We need the rest of the juice.
Yeah, yeah.
Need the rest
You
of the
just let us
juice.
on. Just let us on.
David Chappell said he going fishing tomorrow. He gonna be back on the water. I
She
know.
related to you.
No, I have taken David Chappell fishing though.
Oh, you have?
Where
That's
we
crazy.
we could possibly be cousins. I've
Pretty
got the
much
correct.
crappie brothers at this point. If you took them
Yeah.
fishing, yeah.
Let's see.
Lisa says only been hard crappie fishing for 2 years. Thank you guys. You really help with the learning curve. I appreciate that very much, Lisa. She's the one on Lake of the Ozarks that was asking if the fish will
Yep.
stay there. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad we can because we all been there, done that, and it just helps having somebody to talk to that's already done it and been there. So I appreciate you watching
Yeah.
and tuning in and paying attention. Appreciate it very
Yeah.
much. So is the Lake of the Ozarks doing good though? Like scale of 1 to 10, what's Lake of the Ozarks doing? Are they spawning? I think she said they post spawn already, which is kind of crazy. Did anybody ever get any on the bank? Hit us with the bank fishing report. Has anybody got the bank bite? It just seems like that's a dying breed anymore, Brad. I don't know if the fish have done. I don't know what's happened to that. But has anybody stood on the bank and caught a solid limit of fish just casting to the bank? Or casting at the bank, standing on the bank and casting off it, vice versa. Has anybody just had a bobber and a jig or a jig and caught a limit off the bank? I got to live through somebody.
Got to live through somebody. I got it.
That's right.
Scott, he says, have you ever noticed that when you're scanning out at 60 to 70 foot on live scope and you see what you think are good sized crappie on a tree, and then you reduce it in to 30 to 40 feet, they look small.
Squeakers. Yeah, I bet you have a 32 transducer if I had to guess. It's a possibility because I have one and it will do me like that sometimes. So I just believe things are a little fuzzier further out, so they look bigger, and then when you get closer, it really will hone in a little bit. That's just my guess.
I love the
Even when I'm chasing spoonbill to snag for clients, I'll see some that are out there ways. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a monster. Then you get in there and it's 30, 40 pounds. So I I think that sometimes just a fuzzier picture looks bigger, pixelier.
I can't wait to see the response. We will definitely look for it. Da, da, da. Greg Robinson, he said he's about to start pulling them old crankbaits. I think
Uh
David Chappell's
oh.
going to pull crankbaits tomorrow. I don't see a bad thing.
Wait, heck no.
No, he's running a 34.
He is. Well, then I can't help you there. I don't have a 34 and I haven't really messed with it.
I'm running a 34.
We've been asked this before, Brad, actually. I'm
Mhm.
about positive. It's been a long time, but I know we've been asked that before.
See, typically I run mine if I'm searching out, I'm running it out to really about 100, 90 to 100, even
Wow.
occasionally out to even 110.
Do you see him
I,
looking bigger at
you
first?
know, I see a fish out at that
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Now a big 2 pound fish plus, I feel like I can spot it out that far out and know it's a good sized fish. But I really about 40 feet, I feel like I've got a pretty good gauge on what the fish is going to be like. So I haven't noticed that particular scenario, and
Well,
there's
go
so
tomorrow,
many.
Brad, and see. Tune in and see if you
60 to 70.
it's a little bigger.
See,
Yeah,
60 to 70, I would have to be fishing fairly slow.
yeah.
I like
That's
fishing.
crazy. That's crazy. You're looking at 100 foot. I usually don't look out any further than 50 ever,
No,
but I got a 32 though, so
I like stretching on out, and 100 feet, I feel
I
pretty
guarantee it. And
comfortable.
you can, you know what? You can do that with the 34. I've seen it firsthand. I've fished with the 34 a lot on different boats. I mean, with Ken when we were fishing tournaments, that 34, you could spot and identify for sure a crappie at 100 foot away, 80 foot away,
Mhm.
easily. That blew my mind. I'll do that a lot at
Especially a
Grenada.
good fish.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I said Grenada. When you see a 2.5 pounder, you know at 100 foot, which is incredible. 80 foot
Mhm.
anyway.
Um, let's see. He said, I've got a friend who bank fishes LOZ almost daily. He said he's lived out every day for the last 2 weeks. There you go.
My man,
There it
that's
is.
so nice to hear right there. So Lake of the
Mhm.
Ozarks is they're spawning hard right now. If he's caught a limit every day off the bank, then that's they're that's why she's caught a little bit of pre-spawn or post-spawn there because sounds like they've did their thing. That's great. That's good to hear. Were they colored up males? Golly, don't tell me
You
that.
know
I'm
they got to
coming to
be.
Lake. Yeah, I know it. I know
Yeah.
it. Them dark tuxedo males, my goodness. You know, I haven't even got to see a lot of those this year.
See.
Greg Robertson said, "Do you wear your glasses at 100 foot?" Hey, Brad, I know he's wearing his glasses.
I wear mine at 20 foot to 120 feet. I mean, all
That's
anywhere
right.
between. If I'm on a
He's
boat,
wearing
my
his when he
glasses are
turns the
on.
screen on.
Absolutely. I see. Sean's asking, he said, when you shoot out to 70 and see a big profile, it's probably distorted more in shallow water. In deeper water, it seems more accurate to me. And that kind of goes back to your depth range you've got your unit set on. I really this year I have concentrated on not setting my depth range to go any shallower than 15 foot. Even if I'm in 7 foot of water, it's going to be sitting at 15 foot deep. And it
Yeah,
kind of keeps everything in that same perspective and it doesn't distort it out. So for me, I 17 is probably my favorite depth range as of today.
gosh, I'm just glad. I'm glad to see people caught some bank fish. That's what a lot of people live for right there is just going to them banks and catching them for 2, 3 weeks straight, just beating the brakes off of them. That's my childhood of crappie fishing right there.
Guys, we need some more of those thumbs up. We got 191, 198 people watching right now. So take a moment and hit that thumbs up, the like button on all the platforms.
We can't ever get it when we want to, can we?
We can't get it.
No.
Uh, but we need some more help. We need to hit that 200 at least. 201 people watching. So hit that thumbs up again. Mike Martin says, thank you guys. Mike, thank you for watching every week. We
Yeah.
appreciate you guys that
Sure.
join us every week and help keep our dream alive by coming on today's bite. Looks like got some iffy weather coming in the week, so it's going to take some challenges. I think we'll talk about and complain about the wind again next
Oh,
Tuesday
I'll be
night if I had
complaining
to
next week
guess.
too. Yes, but let me
Uh,
make no mistake. I'm very grateful for everything. But goodness gracious, I'll be complaining next Tuesday. Don't worry.
in July, I don't want to hear no crying about
No,
I need
listen,
some
nuh-uh.
wind.
Listen, these people here, they just pretty much are here for sympathy for me. You guys are my vent. You every once in a while you got to vent to people about something. This is where I come to vent about my crappie fishing.
There's another Mark
Yeah,
Twain
that's
has
what
been
I'm
on the
talking
banks
about.
on and off, only good on sunny days. Some guys have pounded limits in less than an hour.
Oh my gosh, let's go. Mark Twain. I've actually been there before, believe that or not.
There's a personal best. Sean says, caught my PB a few days ago, 2.67 in Kansas. That might be
Who
where
said
you need
that?
to
Who
go.
said that? What was the name?
Sean Green.
John Green doesn't sound familiar, but I thought I knew everybody that fished in Kansas, but I don't. That's a giant though. Giant Kansas fish. Kansas
Um,
is a sleeper state, and people that fish
mhm.
Kansas would know that for sure.
Yep. Bobby said he going to be long lining this weekend at the championship. Bobby, good luck. We cannot wait to see
Oh
how you
yeah.
do next
Bobby
Tuesday
A.
night, man.
You betcha. Good luck, buddy.
Yep, we got you guys. I know for me, I'm gonna kind of do what I did today. I'm planning on casting uh, probably the next 5 months. I'm gonna really go after them casting next. I think these fish are aggressive enough. That water temperature is high enough, and I think if you can get the right presentation, I feel like I can catch them next few months by casting. And
You
that's
just you just got to go. You got to
got to go
go.
and do.
You just got to go and do it. You know, the
Well,
best thing about today, Brad, you're going to be so proud of me. Oh my goodness. You know, the fishing was terrible, but
mhm.
if I could do it over again, I'd go because I met a group of guys. There was 11 of them, farmers from Iowa. They said there's so many turkeys out there. Listen to this. They said there's so many turkeys out there. It drives them nuts. They're like rats. And they said if we draw next year, I told them I got a buddy that would go with me, and they said
Yeah.
if we draw next year, I got his number and everything. He said it's unbelievable.
Hmm.
Ooh-wee. I told you, see, it's worth going fishing even if the fishing's tough. Oh man.
Oh, that's great.
Anyways, back to fishing.
Yeah, guys, if you want to get anything from LureNet, that's all the Bobby Garland products that we talked about tonight. The itty bit slab hunters, the itty bit mayflies. We got a discount code for you guys to use. If I can get it up on here. On
Crappie
screen.
Connection
Yeah.
15, no spaces, no nothing. Crappie Connection 15.
Crappie
And
Connection. There you go.
you be
At,
good.
get you 15% off every single thing they got at LureNet. You can't go wrong with a lot of these Bobby Garland baits. My color of the week again is going to be the
Cajun
Green
cricket.
Lantern.
Cajun cricket for
And
me.
Dustin's was Cajun Cricket. And even if you're watching later time, show us or tell us your today's bite color of the week. We'd like to see it. It's always very interesting some of the common colors that are used across the United States.
How about this? Before we leave, real quick. Kenny has caught an 18.5 inch 357 at Kansas. I told you it's a sleeper state. It's like Mississippi, but nobody ever talks about it. Okay, we'll see you guys next Tuesday, 7 o'clock.
That's right. I'll appreciate everybody.
I'm not done complaining, but we'll see you next Tuesday.